prepare to put on your tinfoil hats. You can relate to maybe with the butterfly effect saying is some jackass in Wuhan City ate bat soup and now I'm not allowed to go outside.
Oh, damn. Oh, that was beautiful.
It's fucked up, dude, because I wanted to work at a zoo for 20 years, Stackhouse. 20 years.
And I got you the job.
You got me the job at the zoo. And you know what happens? 3 days. 3 days away from the orientation. You know what happens? Some jackass in Wuhan City decides to eat bat fucking soup.
Oh.
Fuck. So now what happens, Stackhouse? I don't have a goddamn job at a zoo that I wanted for 20 goddamn years.
Dude, let's just go right into it, man. Like, tell your story, man.
Ah, shit. All right. So, I was about 9 years old, and I was walking my dog, and you know, whenever you can just feel something looking at you, it's like that being watched feeling. I got that, but like very strongly, and I look up, and there's this little girl staring at me, and she's about my age at the time. Or like knee length, long white dress, just completely torn to hell. Dirty hair, matted hair, and all that shit. And we lock eyes, and she has no eyes. It's just these two black pits or holes or whatever the hell you want to call them. And whenever we actually do lock eyes, it was weird because I wasn't necessarily afraid, but I was that like hyper alert, like I'm trying to think of the word. Like almost like instinctually like guttural fear, but also just a lot of sadness. And it was a really weird thing because I called out to her, and just immediately she ran behind the truck that she was standing next to and was just gone. Like there was nowhere for her to hide because the trailer park I lived in backed up directly to some woods and had this 30-foot ditch at the back of it. And I looked back, and she was just gone. It was really weird. But I thought, okay, nothing major. Well, about 3 years later, it's similar night, cold, and just that really nice, crisp, cold evening. And I get that exact same feeling that I'm being watched. And I look up, and we immediately lock eyes again. And it's the same girl, about 30 feet away, just staring at me. And just that sense of that guttural, instinctual fear and sadness all over again. So I call out to her again, and this time she doesn't even run. She's just gone. Disappeared. I blinked, and she was just poof.
Man, dude, that's freaky. The eye thing would really mess me up, man. Seriously.
It was weird, man. It was the eye thing really wasn't what messed with me, as weird as it sounds, because okay, little random girl in a torn white dress, dirty as hell. Cool. Randomly at night. I am 9 years old. I'm not equipped to deal with this shit. Oh, she has pits for eyes. Fuck.
Fuck me.
And that wasn't the part that messed with me. It was just the sadness that I felt. That was the part that really messed with me. So, I thought, okay, I've seen this girl twice now. What the hell? I think about it for like a week, and then me being 12 years old, I forget about it. And then I see her again at 15. At this point, I'm starting to kind of think there's a running theme here. Same deal. And she's always about like 30 to 40 feet away. Far enough that if I even tried to like go after her, there's no way I could catch up or get to her quick, you know? Call out to her again, poof, gone. And then at 18, it's every 3 years. It's like some Pennywise fucking Jeepers Creepers shit. It's and it's always when it's cold. That's what really messes with me too. So I don't know if there's some kind of hidden meaning or something, or if I'm losing my mind or whatever. So, then I see her again. What was the last age? 18. I saw her again at 21, and I am now 23. So, come winter, by the end of this year or like February of next year, I'll see her. I can almost bank on it. So
every 3 years.
Every 3 years, and it's always when it's cold.
Around every year, correct?
Yep.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, that's weird, man. That would freak me out because she's got pits for eyes, man. I've heard of this account too. I think they call her the Woman in White.
See, I've heard of that one too, but from what I've heard, she's like a woman, like an adult. I've never heard of like a little 9-year-old girl. She's never changed age.
Oh, so she's a kid.
Yeah, she's a kid every single time. She's the same about 8-9-year-old girl that I saw for the first time. It is, and I've talked to a few people that have studied this kind of shit, and they have never heard of anything like it. So.
Oh, Dane, what are those ones that I've heard of before? It's the little kids on the highway with black eyes.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Fuck, I'm gonna look that up real quick. But keep talking, keep telling your story, man.
Well, a little thing that I have noticed recently that is new, but at the same time, I don't know if it's new. And even right now, actually, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's really heavy into the like the Wiccan, witchcraft, and all that kind of stuff. I was talking to her about it, and that less the fear and more like the primal fear, more like the overwhelming sadness. I can actually feel that, and I feel it. It's like a cold point in my heart, and it's almost like I can feel her nearby, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like I can feel that right now. I don't get the sense that somebody's watching me, but I can feel her near. And I just realized I'm talking about this shit in a dark, secluded back workshop. Shit. So it's, yeah, I posted it on Reddit hoping that somebody had something similar at least, just to see if I could get some kind of answer to what it could be, but I didn't really get a whole lot of traction on the post. And yeah.
So generally, what I've learned through like reading a bunch on Reddit and hearing people's accounts firsthand or whatever, is typically things. I should say this actually. Things usually have variations. It's never exactly the same thing that people tend to experience, for the most part. But there are a lot of instances where things are similar.
Yeah.
So,
And
like,
that's really what I was hoping for. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no worries. So, like, no, trying to think of two cases that I can compare, like right off the top of my head, but I'm drawing a blank. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was, like I was saying, that's really what I was hoping for. Just somebody with a similar or like even sort of similar experience like this for some kind of answers or something. Just to see if there was like maybe something I could do, or if there was something that she wanted, something along those lines. You know what I mean?
Something that you can do, or something that you could do, or she could do.
Something that I could do. Like maybe she wants something or something along those lines. I was actually telling a friend of mine earlier that, well, first off, I was going to be on this podcast because, holy shit, I'm on a podcast. And he didn't know that story. I could have sworn I told him. But I told him, or I sent him a link to my story on Reddit, and he started asking me questions like, whenever I was a kid, did I go to any kind of abandoned places, or any, like, find anything, or something like that I held on to. And like, I really didn't. Whenever I was 9 years old, my parents were really strict. And because my parents were both cops, and I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
But like I told him, I very rarely did a whole lot. I played video games. I hung out with friends, like in this big grass patch that we had near my house, and only a couple times that I can even remember did I even go back out into the woods that backed up to our trailer. Ooh, excuse me. And even then, I'd never really ventured very far in. Now, I had friends that went like 2 miles back there, and they were telling me about one time they found this really weird patch of just overly perfect grass and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Come to find out, there was a meth lab back there, but that's beside the point.
I found
so
it, by the way. But keep talking. We'll come back to it. But I found the reference to the black-eyed children. But go back to what you were saying.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, like, there was no like fucking altar or anything 2 miles back from my house that I could have been possessed by or whatever the fuck. It was just, I'm trying to think of how to word it. Mainly the main reason I posted this or posted that on Reddit was to see if I could find some kind of answer or way to help this little girl or something. You know what I mean? Because she's not. I don't get the sense that she's evil. It's just the fear is like that primal feel, and then just that overwhelming sadness. That's the part that really sticks with me.
So
it's just how.
Not necessarily fear. It's more of a fight or flight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I don't know, man. It's just I've never heard anything about this or anything like this, and it's kind of weird.
I think the one thing that makes it definitely unique for you is typically when we hear people talk about how they saw something like a ghost or whatever it may be when they were a kid. It starts and stops when they're a kid.
Yeah.
As for you, you're going on 22 now.
I'm 23, man. I'm about to turn 24.
Oh wow. Going on 24 now, and it's happened every 3 years since you were 9.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it different, and why I can't really like. 'Cause, I mean, nothing has happened. Nothing bad has happened to you
Yeah.
since you've seen her. So I mean, it's not necessarily maybe she doesn't have like some weird ill intent. Maybe
Yeah.
it'd be really weird to say, but like maybe she's like a guardian angel type figure, you know?
Yeah, maybe so. And I've kind of batted that idea around a little bit, but it's weird, dude. It is really weird. And I'm hoping it's one of those things like somebody sees something whenever they're a kid and kind of forgets about it, and then like 20 years later or something, they're looking through an old family note or family book or picture book. What the hell? Photo album. That's God. Damn it! I had a long day. Shut up. Um, God damn it. Yeah, photo album, and like maybe I'll see this little brown-haired girl in a knee-length white dress, and it'll just be one of those aha moments, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what's this I'm hearing about black-eyed children?
All right, man. So let me pull out the black-eyed children for you. So I've heard reference to this a lot of times over the years. Haven't really actually heard anybody directly talk about them. I think maybe one other time I've heard somebody mention to me that they've seen these things. But black-eyed children have been a thing since apparently the 1800s. People have been talking about these things, and basically they're children that are like between the ages of 6 and 16. They're minors,
Yeah.
and they have super super fucking pale skin. They have black eyes, like you describe, and they're reportedly seen hitchhiking, panhandling, or on people's doorsteps in like um, backwoods regions and stuff like that. That's where they're usually commonly seen.
Okay.
Does that freak you out a little bit?
Considering every single hair on my arms are standing on end, yeah.
Yeah, man, they call those the black-eyed children. So there's the woman in white, which is what I originally thought you were referring to, which is a very famous sighting that a lot of people see. But black-eyed children better fits yours because you're actually seeing a child and not an adult woman.
Yeah. I mean, do they have like? Is there any kind of other information about them? Like, are they evil? Are they like just neutral or what? Like,
Man, you don't want to know it with these things. I've heard a lot of conflicting things about them because there's so little information on these things, but um I don't want to really reference it. I will reference it, but full disclaimer, I think this is creepypasta lore in reference to them, so I don't think that it's reliable. But
okay,
they're kind of like, I think one of the lores behind them is that they're like vampires, and you they can't do anything to you unless you invite them in. But if
okay,
you invite them in, the people are generally never seen again.
got you.
You know what
Well,
movie that reminds me of?
What movie?
Was it Fright Night where the vampires can't come in unless you let them in?
I was that the one with Colin Farrell?
Hold on, Night.
I think that was the one with Colin Farrell. If that is the movie with Colin Farrell, I love that movie. My cousin showed it to me, and
Director Tom
yeah,
Holland. Fright Night.
oh, wait, was that a remake? I saw shit. I don't know.
No, this is Chris Sandrin, William Ragsdale, Amanda. What are these last names? Holy crap!
They sound magical as fuck.
Roddy, Stephen Geoffreys. What the fuck? It's just the weirdest last name. No. It might not even be Fright Night that I'm thinking of, but there's an older movie like from the 90s that was basically, I guess it's in reference to the Black Eyed Children, because that's the creepypasta Stackhouse was talking about.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, damn. I had never actually heard of the Black Eyed Children, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
Yeah,
But
man, for sure. They're freaky, man. Like if you look them up, like tread with caution because you're probably gonna freak yourself out. I think I remember seeing one direct account from somebody involving them where she was. I'm probably gonna butcher this because this was like a long, long time ago. But her
yeah, no
account
worries.
was, I think that she encountered them on like the side of a highway or something like that, and they were asking for her to like they were very persistent on like asking like they had their eyes were black like it was freaky shit, you know, like.
Yeah.
But she was saying that they were really pressing her on, can we get in the car, can we get in the car, can you take us here, you know. And she just kept refusing because, you know, the black eyes really freaked her out or whatever. And she eventually just left him there on the side of the road or whatever. And then she later learned that if you let those things in, that generally the people that, you know, actually let them in are never seen again. But that's really the only firsthand account I've ever read on them. There's really very little information on them other than a handful of people have seen them.
Okay. Damn, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, man. I don't know really like what people think some people think they're like vampires or something like that, or some type of weird cursed ghost child thing. But I mean, the backstory on them, it's not like a skinwalker that has like all this, you know, lore of where they came from. Like the Black Eyed
Yeah.
Children, man, people really don't know much about them at all.
Yeah.
Side note, I was gonna say, I think being a vampire would actually be pretty cool.
Oh, dude, totally. Not like the fucking Twilight, shimmery, sparkly bitch boy vampires, but absolutely, I 100% agree.
Underworld style.
Oh yeah, or even like the fucking Cirque du Freak ones. That's a throwback.
Oh, that was the book, right?
Yeah, it was written by Darren Shan.
I remember that.
Dude.
Memories.
With
They made a movie out of it.
Yeah, with it had Josh Hutcherson in it. What's his name? He was Will Ferrell's stepbrother in Step Brothers. What was his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He played I think Crowley. I think that was his name. Yeah, it was Crowley. Crowley.
There's actually a Cirque du Freak manga.
You were shitting me.
No, I am not.
Oh, I'm gonna have to read that. Yeah, dude. Like everybody hated on the Cirque du Freak movie. I loved it, but that's besides the point.
Here, I'm gonna private message you Wikipedia page to the manga. I read like the first two or something like that a long time ago.
All right, sweet. Got it. Cool.
So you were saying something before I brought up manga.
Shit. What was I saying? If I could stop getting notifications, that'd be great. What were we talking about before the manga? Because now I'm just thinking about manga and then Black Eyed Children, vampires. Yeah. It's gone. I'm gonna remember it 3 days from now and just like shit.
Don't do drugs.
Oh, what I was gonna say was the whole like inviting me in, unless she was trying to like bait me back there and then decided against it or something. I just personal experience. I don't think that's a Black Eyed Children thing or shit. I don't know. I'm just now learning about this stuff. So it It's one of the few things, oddly enough, that I distinctly remember from my childhood. Everything else is kind of fuzzy. So it's strange, man.
I think your case specifically is just on its own kind of unique, besides the whole black-eyed children part, but the fact that you're seeing it every 3 years since you were 9. Was it 8 or 9?
9.
9.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It was. I've had a few, like, of the supernatural per se experiences. So, like, I'm a believer. Honestly, I am. But even this one, just hearing me say it, it sounds insane. But I don't know. If it wasn't me, like, if it was happening to somebody else, I'd brush it off as like, this motherfucker's crazy, you know.
Let me ask you
So,
this: Have you had any like weird dreams since you started saying the black-eyed child?
not really. I only remember one, and it was one of those, like, it was one of those dreams that you dream it, and then like 2 years later it happens, and then you immediately remember it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a precognitive dream.
Yeah. And I remember her. It was just this random moment in my social studies class. I was sitting there and I was not in the same position and everything, but I remember looking up and she was just standing in the doorway. Then I wake up, forget about the dream, and then like 2 years later, in my social studies class, I remember that dream and I look up and she's not there. So it's, I don't know. It's the biggest question I have ever had. Like the biggest, most consistent question I have that I have never received an answer to. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, man. Like, it's one of those things where, like, getting a good answer from something like that is probably really just hard because it's such a unique encounter that,
Yeah.
you know, when people talk about shadow people, all the encounters are similar and have some type of structure where there's some consistencies. This is just really
Yeah.
unique, which is what I really love about this story that you're telling us.
Yeah.
It would freak
I've
me
seen a
out.
few. No, thinking back on it now, like I'm surprised I handled it so well, being fucking 9 years old. Because my immediate reaction was to chase after her and see if she needed help or something like that. And yeah, I've seen shadow people. I like see them semi regularly. I whatever. So like that's not even an important thing to me anymore. Like at one point, whenever I was like 15, I was having really bad insomnia problems, and I was seeing shadow people all over the place. And I started naming them. I was like, I would see them and I'd be like, "Oh, hey Phil, what's up?"
I would name them too. That's hilarious. I love that.
Oh shit, Frank, how's the wife? Shit. Yeah, man.
Let me give you a little piece of advice.
What's that?
When if eventually it starts talking to you and it wants to come inside, just don't let it in.
Oh, I'm telling that little shit to fuck off.
Slam the door in its face and arm yourself with a flamethrower.
The flamethrower that spews holy oil and like does like 2d6 fucking divine energy. I cannot remember. God. Radiant damage.
I can't believe you're a D&D nerd. That's hilarious.
I am a fucking avid D&D nerd. I have 3 different characters and 3 different campaigns, and they're all my babies.
That's great. I've been I've been wanting to get into D&D, and I asked Stackhouse like in a few months when we're living together, "Yo, you want to play D&D, my guy?" And he was like, "Yes."
We're gonna
One
have
thing I
everybody
will.
over. We're gonna fucking like I don't know. Should we use like the studio that we're gonna have for D&D night? Should we just kind of like move everything out of the way and play D&D in there? I think we should do that.
That'll work.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Absolutely do it. One thing I will warn you about is resist the call of the math gyms.
Pathogens.
Yes, your dice. I am going to warn you now. Every single D&D player gets addicted to dice at some point. It will drain your bank account so quick.
You know what's funny?
What was that?
I got a set of dice coming in the mail.
Oh dear God, he's gone. We've lost him.
But this is for MTG, so
Gotcha. Go ahead, find you one good set of metal D&D dice and stick with them. That little voice is going to tell you, buy more, buy more, buy more. Don't. Do not give in.
it's gonna be a rabbit hole from there.
Oh, 100%. I have a friend that has 30 different sets of metal dice.
Oh my lord.
And those are $20 a piece.
Jesus.
Yeah. It gets intense, dude. And they're all like different colors. Like different color schemes. She has no two sets that are the same. It is honestly, for a dice collection, beautiful. For your bank account, not so much.
Yeah. Back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
With the dream,
Shit.
I recently, literally like 3 nights ago, yeah, 3 nights ago, I had this strange dream. I don't remember how it started, but I remember that there was a train coming through a tunnel. The train derailed. There were people standing inside the tunnel, so you can see where that is going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bloody mess everywhere. It is scary.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm standing in a group of people. There are like 3 of us or 4 of us, and I look to my left, and then I shit you not, it's the fucking Grim Reaper.
Oh, shit.
I was like literally, I'm just like, oh hey, you're the Grim Reaper. And as soon as that happens, it screams, and it's like this boom that's so loud, like there's a gun going off right next to your ear, and I startled awake. That entire day,
Ooh.
I could hear like. I can't hear it because it didn't actually happen. Like the sound didn't actually happen. It was like a dream. But I could feel like something had gone off right next to my ear the entire fucking day.
Oh, yeah. I've had a couple dreams like that, so I definitely understand that. Like kind of in the same vein. Ever since I was like 12 years old, I've had dreams where I actually see, hear, like it's all like perfectly vivid. I can actually, you know that trick where people will pinch themselves just to make sure they're not dreaming?
Yeah.
I've done that a couple times in that dream, kind of like semi-lucid dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I could feel it. It felt like real life. And in every single one of those, I have actually died.
Oh.
It is a haunting feeling knowing what it feels like to die.
The difference between you and me is I never get hurt and I never die in my dreams. I come close to it, but it never actually happens.
Yeah. But in that same vein, I actually remember one where I got shot in the head, and it I kind of blocked it at the last second, so it only grazed me and like knocked me on my ass. But I felt that. I felt the recoil of the gun. I felt the heat of the muzzle flash, the burning powder, all that stuff, and I felt a bullet bounce off my skull.
What the fuck?
It's fucked up, dude. It is fucked up. And then I take a gunshot to the face, and then I wake up. So.
Is it like startled awake, or is it just like, oh, hey, I'm awake now?
Those, it's startled awake and like generic nightmare, cold sweats, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But there was a couple of them where I either drowned or I got strangled or whatever. Because a lot of times I get murdered, which is fucked. And like, I don't know if y'all have ever like been in a situation where you were being suffocated or whatever, but you can feel yourself. I cannot talk tonight. You can feel yourself fading, and then, like, as soon as I feel my heart stop, that's whenever I'll wake up, like, just from a normal dream, just drenched in sweat, because like I have no energy. Y'all could make a whole series on shit that I have experienced. It's weird.
Right now. Start writing everything down. We'll make a movie about a guy who has been dying, and then he wakes up every single day, and each day he gets worse and worse and worse until eventually he actually dies. That time, it is not a dream.
One of those like overly depressing movies where the good guy doesn't win.
Yeah. Hey man, those are the best. So
Oh yeah, Texas. Exactly. Texas Chainsaw Massacre did it right. Nobody got out. I didn't say this whenever we started or anything though, but thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
like
no yeah, man, for sure.
I was not expecting to get a message pertaining to this to be on a podcast or anything. I thought it was just kind of throwing shit at the wall, and I guess this little bit stuck.
Just a little bit.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say you're justified.
Yeah. Holy shit, that's funny as fuck. I'm actually sweating. It's hot as fuck in my room right now. I should probably turn the fan on, but I don't want any audio shit going on with that, so I'll write it out, but my fucking hardware is putting out some serious heat right now.
Oh boy.
Dude, I'm sitting out in my fucking blacksmithing shop, so I feel you. I am sitting in a blacksmith shop with absolutely no airflow or fan in southeast Louisiana. It is hot and humid as fuck.
Are you out in the
Feels
boonies?
Oh no, I'm in the middle of this fucking suburbs, dude.
By the way, not to shill, but go visit our website, challengetheunknown.com. We got plenty of merch up there. We've got some pretty cool t-shirts. If you want a picture of our alien head logo, we've got that. If you want a t-shirt with an alien in outer space wearing a tie-dye shirt ripping on a bong, fucking high as shit, we got one of those too. Whatever floats your boat, man. So,
I will, if I can financially justify it, I will get that and I will wear it every single time I hop on my longboard. I am not even kidding. I will wear that shit with pride.
Oh, I'm serious. That's a shirt in our shop.
Oh, I know. Like that is way too specific to be something you made up on the spot.
Well, I mean, that technically it is something I made up on the spot because I hit up our artist one day. I hit up Ziad and I was like, "Hey man, look, I've got this crazy idea I just thought of. I'm like, I want an alien smoking a bong wearing a tie-dye shirt. Can you make it happen?" He's like, "I don't know. I'll see what I can do." And then he sends me it like a day later, and I'm like, "That's fucking tits."
Oh damn, that is beautiful. Well,
Wait.
I can safely say that y'all have a new fan. So.
Oh, thanks, man. I love it. I'm glad you're enjoying hanging out with us. It's always fun to talk to people, man. I love it.
Oh, I do too, man. Me and a couple of friends have been batting around the idea of starting a YouTube channel /podcast. So this may actually push me to do it. So
Let me tell you this. You don't bat it around. You just text your friend, "Hey, you want to do this?" They say yes or no. When they say yes, you just do it. That's how it is.
That's how we started.
Well, we're trying to bat it around, trying to like get it financially justified again. We're all three down for it. It's just getting setups, getting schedules, together and figured out and all that shit.
Can I ask what the basically what you want to base it on?
We haven't really gotten that far into it yet. This is all a very fresh idea, like within the past month.
Oh,
so
super recent.
Yeah. We're still batting around some ideas, so. But if y'all are willing, once we get it started, I would love to have y'all on ours.
Oh, dude, I'll come on. Fuck yeah, dude, I'm in.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, man. I'll also when you do get it started up, to anybody that listens, for those that listen on any of our platforms, I'll link his stuff in once he gets it started up. So check back in a couple months if you listen to this when it premieres and see what he's got to offer, because I'll totally go on your show.
You are a beautiful individual.
So
shit.
Just to get a judge of your character, you're a D&D playing, longboarding, long-haired, alien t-shirt, bong smoking, ripping hippie.
Oh no, I am not a hippie. I'm not a hippie.
No, he's a blacksmith, bro.
Blacksmith, yes, I am a blacksmith. Shit. Nerdy. Ever so slightly a weeb.
Ever so slightly gets hyped when I talk about fucking Cirque du Freak manga.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to not. Nerdy, ever so slight weeb, blacksmith. I am involved with so much fucking shit, dude. Like, I can eat fire and breathe fire. I'm one of those dudes that like wants to try everything, pretty much, and some stuff just sticks.
You're like a yes man has a very bad connotation to it. So more like someone who's just willing to try something once at least.
Yes, that's pretty much me.
You know what, dude? You already, from the sounds of it, you got enough experiences with different things under your belt that you could just make a podcast and not have any trouble with it.
That's kind of what I'm hoping. So, yeah, dude. I just completely lost my train of thought. God damn it. Shit. If this, I have been fighting bronchitis for like 3 weeks now, and it is really annoying.
Terrible.
Yeah, and having a cough during the current climate of the world, really not fun.
No, I imagine not.
I had somebody threaten me with a can of Lysol about a week ago.
Jesus.
Shit. That was an experience. There's like this 300-pound black lady. I'm sitting there at work trying to just do my job. I'm up on a ladder and I cough and I just hear, what?
Oh.
Oh no, baby.
I think.
Shit.
What's our timing look like, Stackhouse?
Oh, dude, we're right at our general peak of where we want to be. So if you want to wrap it up, man, we can wrap it up. I'm having a good time.
You cooling? You chilling?
I'm good. I'm cool with either way. Cooling, booling, spooling. I don't have any words. I don't have any more words that end in oolin, so.
I mean, man, that was an awesome talking to you. I say we just wrap it up here. But no, dude, thanks for fucking coming on, dude, and we'll definitely hook up with you when you get your stuff started for sure.
Oh, I very much appreciate y'all having me on, man.